high unit, and then the server on top of it, something that can be 16 or 24 or 32 cores, and is probably enough power to run the searches very effectively and ingest data at some pretty high speed. So because taking care only of a blue and red area here. An example of how easily you can add this EDM coprocessor capability to your existing IQ or ASE database. So now jump to is new in IQ 2. So IQ 15 is a pretty big release for IQ, and 15.2 has actually a couple of very important features. The first one is addition of full text search and analysis. And this puts IQ almost pretty much on par with dedicated full text search engines, because there's so much functionality built into full search that EMT server has stopped using Lucene as its coprocessor for text search, and now everything is done inside IQ using word index. The federation making it much easier for IQ to go and collect data from the repositories and run parallel searches. They have analytics and, of course, real-time loading. So I believe I already mentioned some of this. Full text search, we can phrases out directional, so red Corvette will be distinct from Corvette red. All Boolean searches are there. Proximity is supported, and actually the way proximity search implemented is probably one of the best in the industry, including the dedicated full text search engines. So this is, I have to give real kudos to IQ engineering. Some other functions in stemming and ability to score the frequency and a lot of other things which we don't have time to cover in this short presentation. Is something that's really making IQ even more central position by being able to either across multiple databases, spread the query, do it in a transparent way. This has a evolution of a proxy search, and is operational aspect and makes applications be able to reach into much wider and broader data set, including, for example, adding QEDM solution next to C or any other database. This is something that will make every application vendor and developer happy, because all of a sudden you can actually connect to IQ using any of your favorite tools like Python, Perl, or others, and if you are doing that from, let's say, a Linux platform. So that is excellent news. And IQ is a because it's a column-oriented structure. It's like too much. It's not effective database when you do a singleton insert and achieve all those numbers by doing batching and micro-batching of data. In 15, there are a number of features added which make actually this real-time loading easier and more transparent to their applications. Yes, we are towards the end, and we'll open it for questions and answers.
You can be submitted online. We'll be scheduling the call. One more question. come in. I want to thank this call in. It's also great. We have our first question coming in here. No, this is more of a... Okay, okay, so we're still waiting for questions to come here. Anything later, or if there's anything we got you here in this conversation, you can feel free to meet me directly at daniel.at mlogica.com or onto any of the notifications in association with today's webcast. Okay. Load. We need a database to process the batch before loading to IQ.
Are we talking 15.2?
Yes.
So this answer has a decisive. The answer is a decisive maybe. It depends on the data volume. It depends on if you're doing ETL or ELT part, meaning if your data is completely ready to store in a permanent table, you still want to do some massaging of the data after you ingest it prior to going into the permanent table. We know that if data is completely ready to be stored into a permanent table, if you there are two options. One is for your application to do micro batching. Say if you can ingest, let's put an arbitrary number, ingesting 1,000 or 10,000 records into IQ is probably as fast as ingesting one record, or let's say 5 records. So data frequency, especially do commits. So the frequency for saying I the staging database, meaning goes straight into the permanent table, it's prizable to the bigger batches. In that case, you don't need a staging database. If you have small batches and if you have some post-ingest massaging to do on data, the staging database is probably a good idea. Otherwise, the blocking this big table or tables during your open for update, and that may just reduce the total ingest throughput of the system.
That answer, Paul. I have a few large tables. It needs to integrate to IQ, but do not want to change any application code. I will improve performance via ASC proxy table to Sybase IQ local table.
So those tables will be migrated from ASC to IQ. Clear that, sure that I understand the question.
Read. I have a large table, needs to integrate to IQ, but I want to change any application code. Improve performance via ASC proxy table to Sybase IQ local table.
Okay. It will be fairly easy to migrate from ASC to IQ. Once the data is in IQ, then pointing proxy to IQ, you need the benefits in query performance. And I mean, benefits will be just what we saw when we compared